Oh, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing fine this morning. Let's see.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Helen. All right. As soon as everyone gets on, Mr. Finland, good morning.
Morning, Judge Morrow.
Mr. Howard, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Who do we have in courtroom two? Good morning, courtroom two.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have position number one, Mr. Bankston.
Okay, and I don't have a list of who is representing whom today. Mr. Howard, did you send down a list of what we're doing with the?
I did. Is Kenneth Morrow the accurate email? I can resend that.
Could you send it to Ms. Lewis, Katrina
To
Lewis?
Ms. Lewis? Okay, let me
Yes.
just forward that to Ms. Lewis. Patricia?
Or
Or
Katrina?
Katrina?
Yeah, I'm on a Zoom link. You can see my name. It's what to see.
I don't have the ability to print anything off from this.
I just sent it to her, Judge. She sent
Okay.
it to me.
All right. And what are we doing with Mr. Bankston this morning?
Judge, this is a non-negotiated plea. The balance probated or suspended is at issue, as well as the community service.
Good morning, Mr. Bankston. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. We are conducting this calendar today by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Bankston? To the best of your ability, thank you. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Bankston. Good morning, Ms. Guidry. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Since this is a non-negotiated plea, let me go ahead and get Mr. Bankston's history from pre-trial if I can.
Okay.
Good
Hi, Ms.
morning,
Harris.
everyone. Good morning. GCIC indicates 20 cycles. Last arrest was March of 2020 for probation violation in Fulton County. Underlying charge was battery. That was a conviction. Case number 18 CR 003-221H. Record also reflects the defendant is currently on probation in Fulton County for possession of cocaine and possession of MDMA. Case 16 SC 148297. Sentenced February of 2019, 3 years probation. Additional open probation in Cobb County for possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Case 18-93144. Sentenced January of 2019, 10 months confinement, 2 years, 2 months probation. Record also indicates the defendant has 3 failure to appear and 5 violations of probation within the past 10 years. Nothing further to add.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommending 12 months, 36 days, 18 days credit for time served, the balance probated, a family violence intervention program, a stay away from 320 Fairburn Road, Atlanta, no further contact with Arvea, that's ARVEA Jennings, 80 hours community service and alcohol, drugs, and evaluation and treatment. The reasoning is, one, the facts. In this case, the defendant and the victim, Ms. Arvea Jennings, got into a verbal argument. The defendant put out a knife on Ms. Jennings because he believed she had a knife as well. After pulling off her clothes and showing him that she didn't have a knife, the argument continued and the defendant pushed her to the ground with his hands. Ms. Jennings sustained a cut to her lip due to her biting her lip when she fell. Beyond the state's concerns here are the defendant's criminal history. He has an extensive history of getting arrested for batteries, aggravated assaults, at least 6 or 7. We do understand that they were dismissed. However, that is his criminal history and he was arrested for those incidents. He also has an open battery domestic violence case in Florida. And given his criminal history and that he is a risk of reoffending because of those batteries and assaults, that's why we're recommending that he be on probation and that he serve community service.
Thank you, Ms. Guidry. Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge. So this is a non-negotiated plea. It is a time-served plea. Mr. Bankston has no issue with the Family Intervention Program class. Judge, the 80 hours of community service, we're asking for that to either be reduced or waived. He's lost all employment due to incarceration, as well as the amount of 80 hours of community service, Judge. We just want to be able to make sure he can do it successfully. 80 hours is excessive, so we're asking it to either be reduced or waived, Judge. But we are agreeing that this is a non-negotiated plea and that it's time served, Judge.
Okay, given his history and given the, that he's had a battery conviction in the past, I don't think that 80 hours is excessive. He's going to have an entire year to get that 80 hours done. Since he's not working, it seems like he can knock 80 hours out in no time whatsoever. So I'm going to go along with the state's recommendation regarding the sentence in this case.
Judge, could I ask for the fees to be waived?
Yes, that's something that I typically do to help people out. So I'm more than happy to waive his fees while he's on probation.
Thank you, Judge.
And he's going to be reporting the entire time, so I'll waive them for the entire 12 months. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And he's in agreement with that, Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Mr. Bankston, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
You don't want a jury trial, do you, Mr. Bankston?
No, I don't want a jury trial.
Okay. Has anybody forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
All right. I'll accept your guilty plea, Mr. Bankston. Sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, stay away from 320 Fairburn Road, and no further contact with Ms. Jennings, 80 hours of community service, and Ms. Guidry, alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment. Was that also requested? And
Yes, Your Honor.
alcohol, drug evaluation, and treatment if necessary. Mr. Bankston, I'm going to waive your probation fees while you're on probation and help you stay on your feet, but you're going to have to be on probation the entire 12 months, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Bankston.
All right.
Who do we have next?
We have positions 7 and 8, Mr. Dowdell.
This is going to be an arraignment and bond hearing, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Could I get his bond? We have those, Ms. Lewis.
Third position is number 7.
7 and 8. Good morning, Mr. Dowdell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Dowdell. You've been charged in case 22 CR 000135E with battery family violence, and in case 22 CR 000137E with battery family violence. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusations? Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge, I do.
How do you plead to these charges, Mr. Dowdell? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Ms. Helen?
I'm sorry, Judge, I can't hear him. What was the answer?
Guilty.
Judge, when I spoke to Mr. Dowdell, when we talked, you were pleading not guilty, right?
I don't want to see it 12 months.
Hey, Judge, can I give Mr. Dowdell a call? I have positions 1 through 13 of the SAP calendar, as well as 1 through 5 of an add-on. Can I just give him a call
Okay.
really quickly?
1 through 13.
Yes, sir.
Yes, do you have courtroom two's number, Ms.
I
Helen?
don't, courtroom 2, what's a good number?
22392. 22392.
Thank you.
All right, courtroom two, do we have anyone that's 14 or below?
All of these are Ms. Helen's.
All of them, Ms. Helen's, okay.
Yep.
Let's see. And courtroom two, are you the only one on this
Now,
morning?
4 North is on.
Okay, let's go to, who do we have at 4 North?
Yeah, position number 11, Mr. Jones.
That's Ms. Helen's case also. Do we have anyone else at 4 North?
Yes, we do.
Somebody 14 or below?
14 below. You said 14 or below or 14 or higher?
14 or below.
Yeah, give me got position number 2, Mr. Blackman.
No, that's not below 14. That's Ms. Helen's case also. So it's got to be 15, 16, 17, 20.
All right, got number 16, Mr. Milton.
All right.
Yep.
Whose case is Mr. Milton?
That's my case, Judge.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Howard. There'll be a no-low, please.
16.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Milton, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. We are conducting this calendar by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
What was that, sir?
We're doing this by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Okay.
Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Milton? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Anderson. Is this your case?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, it is.
Okay, you can proceed.
Your Honor, this is Antonio James Milton, and he has 4 counts before us. The state, count 1 is acquiring a license plate for purpose of concealing identification of motor vehicle. Count 2 is missing, defaced, obscured license plate. 3, failure to have license on person, and 4, theft by receiving stolen property. He currently has a total of $2,500 surety bond. The state is requesting 56 days to serve, giving him credit for all his 56 days served, Your Honor, with the balance suspended, with the condition that he stay away from the extra space storage located at 1484 Northside Drive, Atlanta, and also a stay away from 650 Greensferry Avenue, Southwest Atlanta. Can I tell you the facts of this case, Your Honor?
And Judge, we do stipulate to a factual basis, ID
Right.
and venue.
Thank you,
the court-
Mr. Howard.
Fine with that. We talked about it.
Only if the no-low is contested. Are you contesting the no-low, Ms. Anderson?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so they've stipulated to the facts, so it's not necessary for you to go into them at this point. Anything further, Ms. Anderson?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard?
Nothing further, Judge. We'd ask you to accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. Mr. Milton, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to acquiring a no-low, to acquiring a license plate for the purpose of concealing the identification of a motor vehicle, missing or defaced, obscured license plate, failure to have license on your person, and theft by receiving stolen property. Is that correct?
Sir.
You have to speak up for me.
Speak up.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading no-low to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead no-low?
No, sir.
All right, I'll accept your no-low plea, Mr. Milton, as negotiated. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Got number 18, Mr. Parks.
Okay. See who's representing position 18.
I am Judge Morrow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Finland. Mr. Parks, it's I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. We are conducting this calendar today by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Parks? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. This is a non-negotiated plea, Mr. Finley.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Harrison, what's the history?
Chassis indicates 14 cycles. Last arrest, April of 2020. Failure to appear. Underlying charges not indicated in Fulton County. Record does reflect the defendant is currently, he has an open case pending for burglary in the first degree and theft by taking in Fulton County. Case 20 CP 191322. Additional open case for theft by receiving stolen property, also Fulton County 20 CR 003923G. Defendant also appears to be on probation in Fulton County for theft by taking. Case 13 SC 13 SC 116920, sentenced April of 2013, 5 years confinement and 10 years probation. Additional open probation for robbery by force and aggravated battery in Fulton County, case 13 SC 117634, sentenced April of 2013, 5 years confinement and 10 years probation. Nothing further to add.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Ms. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor. The state requests 12 months on probation with 30 days of confinement for this defendant, giving him credit for time served. I have him serving currently 15 days. We also are asking for the balance to be probated, an anti-theft class, restitution of $470.07, a stay away from all Walmart stores, and 60 hours of community service, Your Honor.
Facts on this one?
Yes, Your Honor. This gentleman went to Walmart on April 20th, 2020. The security cameras picked him up stealing approximately 27 items or so. Once the officers arrived on the scene and they discovered that the defendant already had an outstanding warrant, they issued a criminal trespass from all Walmart locations. And as you see here, Your Honor, and from what we've already heard, this defendant has several open cases and has a high risk of reoffending due to the nature of those open cases.
They didn't get the items back, Ms. Anderson?
They got those items back. However, some of the other open cases, Your Honor, that are kind of intermixed with this one is a breaking and entering, or excuse me, that may not be the proper charge. I think it's a theft by taking on a TV that was taken from a gentleman's home and I believe that that's what the restitution is for. I'll be candid with the court. I don't have a ton of information on that particular charge specifically, because the one he's before us with today is the Walmart charge.
Right. So it seems like if they got him before he left the store with the merchandise, they probably got that merchandise back, and that's the only case that we're here before.
That's correct, Your Honor. The Walmart was able to retrieve all 27 items.
Okay, so they'll have to deal with other matters in the other cases. So I want restitution in this case. Anything further, Ms. Anderson?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Your Honor. As previously stated, this is a time served plea. Judge, we are asking for the anti-theft class to be waived. And while I do recognize his recent criminal history, as we heard, a lot of those are open, and he is presumed innocent in those cases. Additionally, Judge, we are asking for the community service to be reduced or waived. Mr. Parks was employed at the time of this incident. He does have 2 young kids and 1 on the way. It would be beneficial for him, for his time and money, to go towards him getting back on his feet and his life back on track. So that's why we're asking for that community service to be reduced or waived, Your Honor.
Normally, in a first offense, an anti-theft class is requested by the state, so I'm going to require him to do the anti-theft class. I think that might be helpful for him. community service he can do at his leisure. I don't think the 60 hours is excessive in this matter. But what I will do is that I will waive the fees for him while he's on probation, and when he completes the anti-theft class and the 60 hours of community service, the probation will go to a non-reporting status. Okay. Ms. Finley?
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Parks, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and not by pleading guilty to it. You're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your guilty plea, Mr. Parks. The sentence will be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance probated, and anti-theft class, 60 hours of community service, and stay away from all Walmart stores. I am going to, hold on, I see your hand there, Mr. Parks. Let me get through this. I'm going to waive your probation fees while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the anti-theft class and the 60 hours of community service, the probation will go to a non-reporting status. That means, Mr. Parks, that the quicker that you do the anti-theft class and the quicker you do the community service, the quicker you're not going to have to report to probation. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You had a question. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. I've already pronounced the sentence in your case. Does your question have anything to do with that sentence, or is it in regards to something else?
It has to do with sentence. How many days do I have to attend the class?
You can discuss that with your probation officer. Okay, so you can discuss that with him or her when you begin your probation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions, Mr. Parks?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I have that Mr. Parks has been in jail for 22 days. Do you want to give him credit for 22 days?
Yes, Your Honor, of course.
All right, 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, 22 days. Regardless, if you don't have anything holding you, Mr. Parks, you'll be processed out as soon as the jail can process you out, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day.
All right.
I see that 7 and 8, Mr. Dell is ready to continue. What's your announcement, Ms. Helen?
Judge, we are doing a bond hearing and we will arraign the case, Judge.
Okay. So as far as the arraignment goes, we've gotten through that you were going to waive formal reading of the accusation. My next question was, how do you plead to these charges, Mr. Dowdell? These two family battery family violence charges, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, we'll record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Your bond was issued on January 11th in the amount of $1,000 good bond and a $2,500 good bond. What's the history, Ms. Harrison?
Excuse me.
Wait, Mr. Dowdell. We'll give you an opportunity to talk.
GCIC indicates 16 cycles, last arrest, November of 2020 for battery family violence in Fulton County. No disposition listed on that arrest. Record indicates the defendant has a 2015 simple battery conviction. Nothing further to add, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking that you maintain those bonds. In the first case, the bond is $2,500. In that case, the defendant and the victim, Ms. Tamika Cobbs, were arguing about her not giving him $20. After the defendant continued to ask her numerous times for the money, the argument escalated and the defendant grabbed her by the neck and pushed her to the ground. Officers observed visible marks on her neck and discoloration. In this, with the same victim, which occurred, the first case occurred on January 10th, and the second case occurred on December 5th, 2021. The second case's bond is $1,000 surety. On that case, they spoke with Tamika Cobbs, who stated that the defendant, who lived with her at the time, she asked him to leave the residence. So she went and shook him on the sofa, and when he woke, he punched her in the chest, leaving swelling in her chest. And officers observed that swelling and they called Grady Hospital. Your Honor, we're concerned he will commit an act like this again. These instances occurred within weeks of each other. We spoke to the victim. She stated that she is afraid of the defendant and she does not want him to come back. We'd also note that the batteries that he was arrested on, he was actually convicted of. It's 3 counts of battery. And in that case, he punched the victim, which was his girlfriend, multiple times in the face while she was driving. He then took her out of the car and slammed her to the ground, causing many lacerations and a lump to her forehead. Your Honor, so he has a history of these violent acts, and we're concerned that he will commit that again. And that's why we're asking that you maintain that bond.
Thank you, Ms. Deidre. Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge. And I also just want to make note to the court, Ms. Cobbs is on the line. Mr. Dowdle is 31 years old. After speaking to him, he informed me that he has 5 shared children with Ms. Cobbs, that she is in recent contact with him, that she would like for him to return home. Why? Because they have 5 minor children that he is a primary caregiver of along with her. Due to incarceration, Judge, he's lost both of his jobs. He was in the food service industry before he got arrested for this case in January, or this month, Judge. He also has been working with hospitality and constructions for the last 10 years. He's a lifetime resident of Fulton County. His father is also a lifetime resident of Fulton County. Judge, I do hear his case, his history. Right now, I did hear that February 2020 battery family violence is still open. So Judge, these are still open cases. So that is why I'm asking you for a signature bond. I would like Ms. Cobb to speak if she would like for him to return back to the family home, if she feels like he is a danger to her, Judge. But yes, that is why we're asking for a signature bond. And if not a signature bond, for it to be $3,000 surety, Judge.
All right, Ms. Helen, be careful what you ask for, because I heard you say that she's in recent contact with him. If that is the case, he is in violation of these bond orders. As such, it may be that instead of this being modified in the way you want it to be modified, it would be modified in a different way. So I am happy to swear Ms. Cobb in and find out if that is the case.
Yes, Judge, and I was not aware that they had a no contact from those other bond orders. I didn't know if it was a no violent contact but I understand, Judge.
But regardless, it's a no further contact, okay? So he will be in direct violation of this bond order if she testifies and I question her and she tells me that they have been in contact. In that case, surely I'm not going to modify the bonds. All right, so I'm happy to go forward if Ms. Cobb wants to, wants to testify in this regard. What would you like, Ms. Helen?
Well, Judge, we'll just move forward and for your overall order, Judge.
All right, so you'd like for me to hear from her, is what you're telling me.
Judge, I would like for you to move forward. I won't be swearing her in, Judge.
I don't understand what you're asking, Ms. Helen. You want to move forward in what way? Do you want to hear from Ms. Cobb or don't you?
No, Judge.
Okay, all right, so the bonds will remain the same at this time. All right, thank you, Ms. Helen.
Guilty. I want to plead guilty.
Hold on, Mr. Dowdle. Hold on.
No, I want
So,
to.
Mr. Dowdle, so do you not accept what the judge is saying is for the current bond order? Would you also like to plead now to this case?
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make mine.
Wait, Mr. Dowdle, my question to you is now, would you like to plead to this case?
Yeah, I'm just plead guilty.
Okay, so
Judge,
I'm not going to accept a guilty plea today, Ms. Helen. The recommendation is 120 days to serve. He's only been in there 16 days. I am happy to reset this to the SAP calendar for next week as an add-on if it's been published, so that you can have the opportunity to effectively speak with him and find out, what's going on. But I don't feel comfortable just taking a plea because, and even if he takes a
That's
plea.
what I wanted to take.
Wait, Mr. Dowdle, please let the judge finish.
Okay, I'm going to hear back from you next week, Mr. Dowdle, so that to give you the opportunity for yourself and Ms. Helen to have additional conversations regarding this.
Understood, Judge.
All right, that's going to be February 1st. I'll see you next week. All right, thank you, Ms. Helen.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's see, I see that we are ready for a breakout session on position number 1. Do we want to do that now?
Yes, Judge.
Do you need Ms. Williams?
Is this your case, Ms. Helen?
Which position, Judge? Or which calendar?
It's add-on position 1, Priscilla Williams.
I have that position 1 for today's SAP calendar is Tommy King.
No, this is the add-on.
Right, that is the add-on.
Then what position is Ms. Priscilla on then?
I don't have a Priscilla Williams on my add-on calendar.
I have Priscilla Williams. I'm representing Priscilla Williams, and she is number 10 on the add-on
Number 10.
calendar.
Number 10, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I make a request, please?
Yes, go ahead.
I have a 9:30 courts with Judge Adams, and I need to go get that lady. And I was wondering if it's please, may I get Miss Priscilla Williams taken care of?
Okay, that's fine. Is she there?
Yes, come on, Miss Williams. Thank you so much, Your Honor, and thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's no problem. This is add-on 10, and it's going to be a negotiated plea, Mr. Finley.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Okay, can you raise your right hand to the best of your ability for me? Okay.
Your Honor, I have a handcuff in the back.
Okay, that's fine. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court, Ms. Williams, be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Ms. Giedrich?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommending a time served plea, 12 months, 82 days credit for time served. The balance is suspended. A stay away from 10 Park Place, Southeast Atlanta, which is Grady Behavioral Health, unless she's there for treatment. And if defense will stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID, the state has nothing further.
Yes.
Anything further? Yes or no, Mr.
Sorry, you're asking me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Sorry. I thought you said, yes, Your Honor. We do agree to the state's recommendation. And additionally, yeah, we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID, Judge.
All right. Ms. Williams, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I get to a group home because I don't have a place to go once I'm released.
Okay, we'll get to that, Ms. Williams. So my question was, are you satisfied with the services of your counsel?
Yeah.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Williams. Mr. Finley, have you discussed with social workers helping Ms. Williams with placement?
Yes, I did, Judge. I reached out to our social worker, Miss Amin Williams, yesterday, and also this morning as well, to get in contact with Ms. Williams as soon as possible about that.
Okay, all right, Ms. Williams, do you have any additional questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, We'll see you, I guess, later on, South Annex.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Who do we have next?
Got number 11, Mr. Jones.
This is also going to be a non-negotiated plea, Ms. Helen.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Can you hear me?
I can't really hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I just tried.
Okay, we're doing this by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Jones? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. What's his history, Ms. Harrison?
Your Honor, GCIC indicates 10 cycles. Last arrest, September of 2021 for criminal trespass and obstruction of law enforcement officers in Fulton County. No disposition listed in that arrest. GCIC also indicates the defendant has an open case pending for criminal trespass and obstruction, 21 CR 004642. Record also indicates the defendant is on probation in Fulton County for burglary in the first degree, possession of Schedule 4 controlled substance, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Case 17 SC 148791, sentenced July of 2017, 5 years probation. Additional open probation for aggravated assault. Case 18 SC 161453, sentenced October of 2018. 5 years probation, and that is to run concurrent with the previous case of 17 SC 148791. One violation of probation and one failure to appear within the past 10 years. Nothing further to add.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommending 12 months, 8 days, 4 days credit for time served. The balance is probated. A stay away from 3 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard Southwest, which is Texaco. No further violent contact with officer in Ocean, and 40 hours of community service. Your Honor, in this case, officers responded to the Texaco due to the defendant trespassing. The defendant was given a criminal trespass warning on May 27, 2021, and was advised not to go back to the location. The defendant returned on September 1st, 2021. During the arrest, the defendant refused verbal commands from the officer to place his hands behind his back, and he started a physical struggle with the officer. Your Honor, the state's concerns here are that to add to pretrial's listings is that just arrested on January 1st, 2022 for 3 counts of terroristic threats and obstruction of law enforcement and possession of Schedule 2. He also has a conviction out of 2018 for aggravated assault and a 2018 battery and burglary first degree 2017 where he was given first offender. So given his criminal history, Your Honor, we believe that probation is sufficient and the community service is reasonable.
What was the obstruction, Ms. Guidry?
The obstruction, he was arrested on January the 1st as well. Obstruction of law enforcement. I can give you that case number if you give me 1 second.
No. The obstruction in this case.
Oh.
What did he do to obstruct the officer?
He refused verbal commands from the officer by not placing his hands behind his back. And he started a physical struggle with the officer. So there was a struggle when they were trying to arrest him. So that was the obstruction.
Okay. And all right, thank you. Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge. Essentially, this is a time served deal, Judge. We're just asking that once he complete the conditions, can the probation be either non-reporting or suspended, Judge?
I'll waive the fees and non-reporting once he does the community service.
Understood.
All right. Mr. Jones, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct? Speak up for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's my understanding, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the your guilty plea, Mr. Jones. The sentence will be 12 months to serve 8 days, credit for time served 4 days, balance probated, stay away from the Texaco on Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, no further violent contact with Officer Ocean, and 40 hours of community service. I'm going to waive your probation fees while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet. And as soon as you complete the 40 hours of community service, the probation will go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get that 40 hours done, the sooner you don't have to report to probation. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. You got any questions for me?
No, sir. I appreciate you.
All right. You have a good day, sir.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Now you have position number 9, Mr. Garrison, position number 9.
Okay.
Oh.
It's going to be a bond hearing. Can I get this bond if we have it? Good morning, Mr. Garrison. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is a state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear me? Can you hear me all right, Mr. Garrison?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Garrison. You've been charged in case 21 CR 006478B with simple battery against the police and simple battery against a police officer or detention officer. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Mr. Howard, do you waive formal reading of the accusation?
We do, Judge.
How do you plead, Mr. Garrison? Guilty or not?
Yes. Well,
say it
to be
again.
not guilty, as we discussed today, Mr. Garrison.
Okay.
Doing that, remember, was not guilty today.
So you're going to plead not guilty, Mr. Garrison?
I plead guilty.
I'm sorry, Mr. Howard.
I'm making a
Mr.
plea.
Garrison, remember, we're having a bond hearing today. We can't, that's what we're doing today. Remember, we talked about it when I came to see you. So we're gonna need to do a not guilty today, and we're gonna talk to the judge about your bond. See if I can get you, we're gonna ask for the bond we talked about.
I think I wanted to make a plea of guilty.
Okay, all right, Judge. Obviously, we're gonna need to talk further, so.
Plea of no contest. I'll make a plea of guilty.
Mr. Howard,
let's.
I'm noting, I'm looking at the bond that I saw Mr. Garrison at the SCA calendar. I was concerned, or we were concerned that social worker has been accomplished.
I can barely hear you, Judge.
Yeah, it's very.
I'm not sure if we're getting the feedback from. Courtroom 2, can we mute you for a minute? I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Courtroom 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can we mute you all for a second so that we can have a talk here? I believe we're getting some feedback from you. Thank you. Mr. Howard, I was saying that at the SCA calendar, we had concerns about Mr. Garrison, and a social worker was going to visit him. Was that accomplished?
Yes, Judge, and the situation is based on that, where we are right now, especially with what's going on at the jail and how long he's been in, we just gonna, that was the basis of our request. He actually has a pretrial signature bond on the other charge, which is, on the Superior Court charge, they gave him a pretrial bond on it.
Okay. Does he have a place to stay?
He's going to go to the Atlanta Union Mission, Judge. That is where he would need to go. He's been there before. He knows where it is. That's where he would ultimately be released to if the court is inclined to do that.
And he's been in, and let's see, whose case is this? Ms. Guidry,
This is my case. Yes, Your Honor.
Right. This was going to be a time served plea offer. Is that right?
Yeah, but it was gonna have probation added to it.
Right. And some other stipulations I see.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Who is Rachel King to Mr. Garrison?
Judge, it's not someone he's in a relationship with that he needs to have any contact with. I believe it's the officer or someone at Emory that was associated with this case, someone working at Emory, but he doesn't need to have any contact with that person. I did talk to him about that.
Okay. Just for the record, Ms. Gidry, you want to give me the facts?
Yes, Your Honor. So here, officers responded to the area due to the defendant slapping Miss Rachel King's phone out of her hand. When they arrived, the defendant spit on the officer multiple times and it hit him in the face, eyes, and in the neck. We just like to briefly state that he was also convicted of simple battery against a police officer in 2020 for doing the same thing, spitting on a police officer in his face. And given that Superior Court case that I won't sound, that I'm sure Your Honor is aware of, you may or may, it's reckless conduct, but I can't state the other part with it. But if Your Honor would like, I can put it in the chat. So that's why we're concerned with that.
Judge, I can tell you in my conversations with Mr. Garrison, obviously there's quite a bit more detail from his perspective about what occurred in his interaction with the officer. But he's 46 years old. He's been here for more than 11 years. His sister, Yolanda Robinson, lives in the Metro Atlanta area as well. And given that he's been in custody 71 days, we would ask the court to consider allowing him to sign his own bond so that he can go to the Atlanta Union Mission, which he is familiar with and has stayed at before. I provided him with our office number so that he could contact us on a regular basis if he needed to check for court dates as well as his case number. But he has received mail there in the past and indicates that they, obviously I know that they have it's set up where persons who are residing there can receive mail. So we believe any court dates would be mailed there and he could check as well. So we would ask the court to consider a signature bond in this case.
Okay. Mr. Howard, I think that overall his issue might be associated with mental health. I don't know that required him to do anger management or community service in this case, as requested by the state, would actually do him any good. I think that really what would do him some good would be a mental health evaluation and treatment, if necessary, if he was on probation. I understand that that he might be, well, he seems to want to take a plea today regarding this matter. So if that would make a difference in your conversation with him, that he would be sentenced to time served with a mental health evaluation and treatment if necessary, and be on probation and not have the other conditions, that would be the sentence of the court, if that would be something that you'd like to contemplate or to discuss with him.
Okay, we can do that, Judge, but I would want to go out and see him to do that. So if we could maybe reset him to Thursday or Tuesday for the court to consider that, if the court's not inclined to consider release. Judge, I do have some additional information I can provide as it relates to the court's concern about that. We did about the MH part of it. I don't know if we can do a quick breakout, if it may make a difference in the court's decision about bond. He did provide me with some information about where that has taken place in the past. And so that there's the court's concern could be addressed, I guess is what I'm saying. He provided me.
I'm only concerned that, that he comes back to court, obviously, and that he gets the treatment that he wants. Right now, we could probably get him the treatment that he wants. If I let him out and he comes back, you don't have any guarantee of what the next judge is gonna do with him. I mean, as you know, it'll be set for the division judge, and right. So you've got a bird in the hand right now. So, and I'm trying to help him out, but,
Yes.
I don't want him to get down the road. He doesn't show back up. They pick him up because he may have some mental health issues.
Mhm.
And, then he's back in the same situation that he's in right now, and less likely to be let out the next time. So, but it's up to you. If you want to discuss anything more in the breakout room with me, I'm happy to do that. If you want, however you want to proceed, you just let me know. But that would be my sentence today if he wants to plead guilty, or if you want to have another conversation with him. I'm not so inclined to reset him for Thursday because I won't be here, obviously.
That's
so
right. That's right.
It would have to be next Tuesday.
If we could do a quick breakout, that would be great. Then I'll make a decision from there, Judge.
Okay, you want to break out with your client, or you want to break out with Ms. Guidry and myself?
With Ms. Guidry and yourself, Judge.
Okay, all right. Mr. Jordan, can we accomplish that, please?
Judge, this is Albert Hopkins. Could I be in that as
Oh,
well to be a fly on the wall?
Of course, Mr. Hopkins. How are you?
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Judge, can myself and Mr. Finling be added to that group? Thank you.
Well, why don't we all just go in? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are you there, Mr. Jordan? Okay. Ms. Lewis is here with me, and I think she's going to put us in. All right, thank you, courtroom two. Sorry that took us so long, but we were handling a couple other cases at the same time. As far as Mr. Garrison goes, we are going to reset Mr. Garrison for next Tuesday, 2/1 for the SAP calendar. I may handle him before that time, but we're going to, at this point in time, put him on the SAP calendar for next Tuesday. All right.
Next, we have number 2, Mr. Blackman.
Mr. Blackman, it's my understanding this is going to be a negotiated plea. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Blackman, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Can you hear me, Mr. Blackman?
Yeah.
And you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Can you raise your right hand for me, sir? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Blackman. Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommending 12 months, 36 days, 18 days credit for time served. The balance is suspended. A stay away from 325 Ralph D. Abernathy Boulevard, Southwest Atlanta. And if the defense will stipulate to factual basis being UNID, we have nothing further.
Yes, Judge, we concur with the state's recommendation and we do stipulate to the factual basis venue and ID.
Mr. Blackman, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yeah.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah.
Has anybody forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Blackman. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor.
Who do we have next?
Add-on number 3.
I've got a hold for announcement, and we're going to need the interpreter for this case. Whose case is this?
It's mine, Judge. I'll need a breakout room with Mr. Martinez and the interpreter.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm ready.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Good, good. All right. So if we can put Miss Helen, the interpreter, in courtroom 2 into a breakout room, and hopefully who do we have in courtroom 3?
Hey, I have position number 1 on the add-on calendar. Mr. King, please.
Is this your case, Miss Helen?
It is. I have one.
So that Miss Helen's about to go into a breakout room. Is there anybody else that in courtroom 3?
No, Judge, that's all I have in courtroom 1. I mean, courtroom 3, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right. So we're gonna have to wait until Miss Helen is back with us. Mr.
Okay,
Howard, Mr. Jordan, are you there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
thank you, thank you. And I guess we don't have anyone else that we can take right now, so we will be in recess until Miss Helen comes back.
I don't see Mr. Dark. Mr. Dark has a fine on here.
Lori Thornton, Miss Thornton, I see you there. I've seen you there all calendar long. Can you hear me? You'll have to unmute yourself, ma'am.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, no, that's all right. I was looking through the calendar, Miss Thornton, and noticed you all there. Are you here for Bennett Thornton?
Yes, my
Oh,
son.
okay.
I'm-
I have down that he is that he's going to have a medical reset today. That he's not going to be on this calendar. Mr. Finley, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, this is my case.
What's going on with Mr. Thornton? I don't want Ms. Thornton to be here if she doesn't need to be here.
Yes, he is going to be a medical reset, and I am going to have a social worker go talk to him before he is going to be on next calendar.
Okay, when would you like him reset, Mr. Finley?
Let's see, we could do. Let's see, 1 second, Judge. I'm just pulling up the calendar. We could do on a week from today.
Okay, so that's going to be 2/1 on the SAP calendar.
Yeah, just to ensure we
Okay,
have time to don't miss it. Yeah.
all right. So your set is going to be set till next week. I'll be the judge that's here also then, and we'll take it up at that time. Okay.
Is he in the hospital? Is he in the hospital or anything?
No, Mr. Thornton. No, he's not. No, I met with him briefly yesterday, and we just discussed that he was gonna have a social worker go speak with him before he was at court next.
Well, sir, thank you. He is.
Yeah, but he's not in the hospital. So he's okay medically.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all, and you're free, and we'll be happy for you to join us next week. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Mhm.
No, I have not seen him.
We're back, Your Honor.
Okay, and what are we doing with Mr. Martinez Guneta?
Yes, Judge, this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Martinez Guneta. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenos días, señor Martínez. Yo soy el juez Eric Morrow y esta es una sesión de audiencia de casos generales y estamos conduciendo la teleaudiencia para evitar el contagio del virus. ¿Está de acuerdo con que tratemos su caso de esta manera? Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me, sir?
Por favor, señor, ¿puede levantar su mano derecha?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura que la declaración que dará ante este tribunal es la verdad, será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad? Yes.
You can put your hand down, thank you.
Puede bajar su mano, gracias.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting 12 months to serve, 60 days confinement, credit for time served. I need a clarification on the time served, Your Honor. Balance probated, 60 hours of community service, and a $500 fine.
La Fiscalía está pidiendo 60 días, 12 meses de sentencia para servir 60 días, lo que resta bajo probatoria y 60 horas de servicio a favor de la comunidad. Y la multa de $500. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, my fault. I thought you were done. Ms. Lewis informs me that he's been in jail for 23 days, so he'll get credit for time served 23 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Me han informado que él ya ha servido 23 días, así que yo ya le voy a dar tiempo servido con esos 23 días. Gracias, señoría.
Anything further, Ms. Anderson?
That's it from the state, Your Honor.
¿Algo más? No, eso es todo.
Ms. Helen?
Judge, I just asked for those probation fees to be waived for Mr. Martinez.
Solo pido que las tarifas a cobrar al señor Martínez se sean canceladas.
Once he completes the community service and pays the fine, do you have a request as to what you would like to have done with the probation?
Yes, Judge, I would like for it to be suspended.
Y cuando él complete el servicio a favor de la comunidad, pague la multa, quiere que también la probatoria se complete. Sí, por favor.
Yes, Judge, I would request that it be suspended or non-reporting.
Sí, yo pido que se suspenda la probatoria o que se cambie el estado a que no necesite el acusado presentarse ante la oficina.
Do you have an objection to termination, Ms. Anderson?
Did you see my face, Your Honor? I'm thinking, the problem with that, Your Honor, is I think he needs supervision because we have some open failures to appears, probation violations. He does not have a driver's license, previous convictions for DUIs. I think he needs to stay reporting.
Usted puede ver mi cara. Yo creo que él necesita supervisación porque ya tiene otros antecedentes de no comparecer cuando se lo ha citado al tribunal, incumplimiento de probatoria y otras más. Así que yo creo que debe haber una reconsideración.
Would non-reporting serve that same purpose, Ms. Anderson?
Con el pedido de que no tenga que presentarse en lugar de cancelarle o anularle la probatoria, ¿podría ser algo que parecido a lo que, o que satisfaga lo que usted solicita, fiscal?
Of course, I defer to your ruling, Your Honor, but I will just say that he does have that open failure to appear and then 2 prior failures to appears. So that's what's giving me the concern.
Como le digo, yo por supuesto que voy a aceptar si usted lo ordena esa condición, pero ella tiene otros antecedentes de no comparecer anteriores, 2 anteriores que están todavía pendientes. Y eso es lo que presenta mi inquietud en este caso.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Martinez, Guneta, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to failure to maintain lane, hit and run, and driving without a valid license. Is that correct?
One moment, please. Señor Martínez, entonces yo entiendo que usted quiere declararse culpable por incumplimiento al cambiarse de carril, por chocar y huir y por manejar sin licencia válida, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
En este momento, ¿está usted bajo la influencia de drogas, alcohol?
No.
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Usted está siendo representado por una abogada. ¿Está usted satisfecho con el servicio de ella?
Sí.
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Usted entiende que tiene el derecho constitucional de ir a juicio por estos cargos ante jurado, pero al declararse culpable, usted renunciará, no usará ese derecho de ir a juicio, ¿comprende?
Sí.
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
¿Hay alguien que lo haya forzado o coaccionado para hacerlo declararse culpable?
Sí.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Could you repeat the question, please? I don't think he heard you well.
Okay. The question was, has anyone forced him to plead guilty?
¿Hay alguien que lo haya forzado declararse culpable?
No.
No.
Give me one second. Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated. The sentence is going to be for the failure to maintain lane. Well, let me start with the driving without a valid license. 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 23 days, balance probated, 60 hours of community service, and a $500 fine. For the failure to maintain lane, 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 23 days, balance suspended. For the hit and run, 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 23 days, balance suspended.
Por el cargo de manejar sin licencia, la sentencia es de 12 meses, para servir 60, se le da crédito por los 23 días servidos, lo que quede, el resto será servido bajo probatoria y las 60 horas de servicio a la comunidad. Por el de manejar cambiar de carril de manera inapropiada, son 12 meses para servir 60 y se le da crédito por 23 días. Y el resto queda para servirse bajo probatoria. Y también por chocar o huir son 12 meses para servir 60, tiempo servido por los 23 días ya servidos, y el resto bajo probatoria.
I am going to waive the probation fees while you're on probation, Mr. Martinez-Brunetta. And once you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status.
Señor, yo voy a cancelar todas las tarifas de probatorias mientras usted esté cumpliendo su probatoria. Y una vez que usted termine de cumplir con ella, yo cancelaré, su estado va a pasar al que no sea necesario que usted se presente ante probatoria. Puede cumplirla sin presentarse.
So the sooner that you complete the community service and pay the fine, the sooner you don't have to report to probation.
Entonces, lo más pronto que usted termine con su trabajo a favor de la comunidad y pague su multa, más rápido terminará su probatoria.
Anything further on Mr. Martinez-Brunetta?
¿Algo más? No.
No. Nothing further, thank you, Your Honor.
Nada más, gracias.
Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Do we have
You're
any?
welcome.
We have any additional cases that we need the interpreter for this morning?
No.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor, for
Thank
checking.
you so much.
Have a good day.
Have a good day also. Thank you.
Your Honor, we have add-on 4 and 5. Add-on 4 and 5, Mr. Mott.
This is going to be an arraignment and a bond hearing, is my understanding. Can I get?
Yes, Judge.
Right, 4 and 5. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Mott. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your cases heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Mott, you've been charged in case 21 CR 003662G with one misdemeanor offense and a possession of marijuana less than an ounce offense. You've been charged in case 21 CR 006133G with a simple assault and another misdemeanor offense. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusations, Ms. Helen?
I do, Judge.
How do you plead to these charges, Mr. Mott? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge. Can I get a moment to speak with Mr. Mott? When we initially spoke, he told me he wanted to plead not guilty. Can I get the number to, I had the number to courtroom too.
Okay.
Just the first case is a bind over. It was a bench warrant, which charge
Okay.
2100336662, and then for a bench warrant for result to appear.
Okay.
And the other one was just added on because the case has never been arraigned. This was also bind over. So
you don't have any? Okay.
no, these were both bind over cases, and first one he fell to appear, and the other one was never on the counter. It's just it's not appearing.
Thank you.
He's not in jail for that.
So can we get Ms. Mott to talk to Mr. Mott to talk with Ms. Helen? And who do we have in courtroom 3? Maybe we can go to courtroom 3 while we do that.
Thank you, Judge.
Unless this is Ms. Helen's case.
I think this is Miss Helen's client too, Judge, in courtroom 3. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right. So, courtroom 2, while he's talking, can we bring someone else up that's maybe Mr. Finley's case?
Yes, Your Honor. I have Mr. Anthony Townsend, who's add-on number 9. And then I have.
Townsend's coming up now.
Okay. And then I also have position number 15, Mr. Lewis. Okay, got it.
Okay, this is Mr. Townsend, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Townsend. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, Mr. Townsend. Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommending 12 months, 187 days, 187 days credit for time served. The balance is probated. A stay away from 2907 Main Street, Atlanta, that's TVS. No further contact with Anthony Askew or Chris Evans. A 12-week anger management, anti-theft course, 60 hours community service, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and all counts are concurrent with each other. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant entered a CVS and he concealed $53.35 worth of merchandise. The defendant was approached by a sales associate, Chris Evans, and he was requesting the merchandise back from the defendant. The defendant gave only back a portion of those items and was asked for the remaining, to which he became verbally aggressive and disorderly. He threatened the associates, including to hit Mr. Jermaine Martin. Anthony Askew, another associate, overheard the conflict and approached. He and another associate retrieved the merchandise and asked the defendant to leave the store. As Askew was escorting the defendant out of the store, the defendant attacked Askew by striking him several times with a closed fist, pulling on his dreads, and refused to let him go. The victim had injuries on the top of his right hand, I'm sorry. Evans tried to help Askew, and the defendant then bit Evans on his hand. When they arrived, the defendant resisted arrest by refusing to put his hands behind his back. He continued to pull his hands under his body while being cuffed. He told the police officers he just got out of the jail and that he wasn't going back. Your Honor, our concerns are the violent nature of this act that occurred, his history. He also has a history of theft by shoplifting, 2 counts in 2019. That's why we're asking for the theft by the anti-theft course. He has a conviction for criminal damage to property, forgery, fourth degree, a theft by receiving, criminal trespass, and a simple battery. So we're concerned that he may commit these acts again. And that's why we're requesting such a recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Guidry. Mr. Finley?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Townsend has stated actually that he does not oppose having to take the anti-theft class and does not oppose the anger management class either. We're just asking for, instead of the 12-week class, for him to be able to take that 8-week anger management class. Additionally, we are asking for the probation fees to be waived, Judge Morrow, and once conditions are completed, if the balance could either be suspended or not reporting.
So the only thing that you are objecting to, Mr. Finley, is 12 weeks instead of 8 weeks instead of 12 weeks.
Yes, Your Honor. And then just for if probation fees can be waived, and then once conditions are completed, if not reporting or balance
So
suspended.
you don't have any problem with the community service or anything else?
No, Judge. Mr. Townsend said that he was okay with having to do that.
I'm taking a moment because since there's so many charges, they're going to have to be broken down. Like the theft by shoplifting will be the anti-theft class. Yes, the 60 hours of community service, I think, goes along with the obstruction charge. And the anger management will go along with the battery and the simple assault, simple battery charges. Is that right, Ms. Guidry?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the state.
Okay. Mr. Townsend, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to battery, simple assault, theft by shoplifting, simple battery, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct? You're on mute, courtroom 2.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning, Mr. Townsend?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Can you say it again?
You've been represented by Mr. Finland. Are you happy with what he's done for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
All right. I'll accept your guilty plea, Mr. Townsend. The sentence is going to be for the battery, the simple assault, and the simple battery. 12 months to serve, 187 days. Credit for time served, 187 days. Balance probated. Stay away from 2907 Main Street, the CVS. No further contact with Anthony Askew or Chris Evans. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. While on probation. For the theft by shoplifting, 12 months to serve, 187 days. Credit for time served, 187 days. Balance probated, an anti-theft class. And stay away from the CVS. And for the obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 12 months to serve, 187 days. Credit for time served, 187 days. Balance probated, 60 hours of community service, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Going back to the battery, simple assault, and the simple battery, sentence will also be for that, an 8-week anger management class. Did I get everything, Ms. Guidry?
Yes, Your Honor, you did.
Mr. Finley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Townsend.
One question.
Also, I'm going to waive the probation fees while you're on probation, and once you complete the terms of the probation, Mr. Townsend, it's going to go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Okay. One question.
Okay.
Will that be released today?
If you don't have any holes, Mr. Townsend, then this is a time served plea, so you will be processed out as soon as the jail can get you processed out. As long as you don't have any holes, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, you have a good day.
All right.
Lewis. Next up, Judge, we got Lewis.
Lewis,
That is mine as well, Judge.
okay, that's position 15. Negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Ms. Anderson.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is seeking 12 months probation, 15 days confinement, credit for time served, which I also have is 15 days, a stay away from the 5 Points MARTA station, and the address to that MARTA station is 30 Alabama Street Southwest, and the balance suspended. That's it, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, and we do agree to the state's recommendations and additionally stipulate to the factual basis, ID, and venue, Judge.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to certain acts on a bus, rail station prohibited, and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is that correct?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the guilty plea as negotiated. You know you can't go back to that MARTA station at that Alabama Street. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And on position number 1, please, Mr. King.
And this is a non-negotiated plea, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. King. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. We're conducting this calendar today by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. King. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Given that it's non-negotiated, Ms. Harrison, is there a history?
One moment, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis, how many days do you have he served?
This is the add-on.
Yes, one.
And for 231 days.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready, Ms. Harrison.
Your Honor, GCIC indicates 7 cycles. Last arrest. One moment. One moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
GCIC indicates 7 cycles. Last arrest, June of 2020 for simple battery in Clayton County. No disposition listed on that arrest. It appears to be open. Record does not reflect any open cases or probations. He has a 2012 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass in Clayton County. a 2012 fleeing or attempting to elude misdemeanor conviction, also out of Clayton County, and one failure to appear within the past 10 years. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Ms. Anderson?
Sorry, I was muted. Your Honor, the state is seeking 12 months to serve, 180 days, credit for time served. I think he's already served 231 days, balance on probation, an MHET, 12-week anger management course, no further contact with the victim, first initial A, last name Rawlings, spelled Rallings, a stay away from the incident location, and I need to get that address for Your Honor, and a restitution to the victim for her medical bills of $645. And we believe that the defendant needs to stay monitored, Your Honor, to give him time to complete his MHET and anger management courses.
What are the facts, Ms. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant had been to the location once before. It's a medical office. And on the second time, he did not have a good positive interaction at the medical office the first time. The second time, which is the date of offense, May 13th, 2021, he came into the office to pick up some forms. He interacted with the doctor there, and he became irate and erratic, throwing his papers around. And when she told him that what he would need to do to complete the process, whatever this medical process was that they were working on, he became irate. He started to stand in a boxing stance. And then when she told him that she would call the police to have him removed, he got really upset and started hitting her in the face, Your Honor. She had a nick above her eyebrow, a busted top and bottom lip. Her right jaw was swollen and her knee was bruised. She did go to Wellstar, and that's where she got the medical bills from. And so we are asking, Your Honor, that he stay away from her and this location. And while Your Honor works on this case, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up that address.
And you've received proof of the unpaid medical bills in the amount of $645?
Your Honor, I have notations in here from our victim about the bills. I can't attest to whether they're paid or unpaid.
Okay, so without more than that, I'm not going to order restitution in the case. And I have the, thank you, Ms. Lewis. I have the stay away from Industry Health located at 1311 Industrial Boulevard, Suite A in Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you.
And Ms. Anderson, has he been in custody on this charge alone for 231 days?
Your Honor, it looks like he does have some open simple battery case as well. So I can't tell if it's just this one or
It's this charge.
combo.
Ms. Lewis tells me that he's been in custody on just this charge for those days.
That would be probably, Your Honor, why we're giving him all the credit and not asking for any more time at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge. This is a time served plea. He has served 231 days of confinement. Since that's the case, Judge, we're asking for this to be balance suspended, waiving the 12-week anger management, Judge, because again, he's been incarcerated for 231 days. He has no contact and has no need to have any contact with a Rawlings at all, and understands that there will be a stay away from 1311. I believe it was Industrial Boulevard, Suite A, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, well, he's definitely going to have the mental health evaluation, Ms. Helen. I think that you all have agreed to that, haven't you?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so he's gonna need to be on probation for that, and I don't think it's a bad option to have him monitored during that time. But I am going to waive the fees, so I'm going to have them require him to be on probation and being monitored. I'll waive the probation fees for 12 months. I think that this is probably a mental health issue, so I'm not going to require, and he's been in jail for 231 days, so I'm not going to require him to do the anger management. And to stay away, of course, and then no further contact, of course. Okay?
Understood.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. King, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to battery with substantial physical harm. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Not at this moment, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, I am, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you've given up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your guilty plea, Mr. King. The sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 180 days, credit for time served 231 days, balance probated, a mental health evaluation and treatment if necessary, no further contact with Ms. Rawlings, and stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on probation. You're going to be on probation the entire 12 months, Mr. King, but I am going to waive the probation fees for you to help you get and stay on your feet, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. King.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Who do we have next?
We're going back to Mr. Mott.
Okay, and this was add-on positions 4 and 5. Ms. Helen, do you have an announcement?
Yes, Judge. This is going to be a bond hearing. Not guilty plea, Judge.
All right, so I've gotten to the point with the arraignment of how do you plead to these charges, Mr. Mott, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Say it again.
Guilty.
It's my understanding that you just had a conversation with Ms. Helen, and you all discussed that for today's purposes, you were going to plead not guilty. Has something changed, Mr. Mott?
No.
Judge, I think, Mr. Mott, are you entering a plea of not guilty or guilty?
Guilty.
Judge, we're going to go ahead and we'll have to reset.
Yeah, since this is 12 months to serve,
We'll have to reset it.
Was the request from the state. I'm going to reset this till next week's calendar so that you can discuss this with him, Ms. Helen. So it's going to be reset to 2/1. You may need to have a social worker go down there also, Ms. Helen.
Understood, Judge.
All right. We'll see you next week, Mr. Mott.
All right, next is Sam.
Sims, is that?
Yeah, Sam, yes.
You know what number that is?
Position 20, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have discussed Mr. Sims's case in a breakout room earlier today. And just so that the jail knows, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to be transported directly to Gateway. He's to have no further contact with the alleged victim in the case, and he's to stay away from 2 locations, which were 980 Ponce de Leon Avenue, and I don't have the second location listed. What was that location, Ms. Anderson?
The second location is 700 Frederica Street, spelled Frederica Street, Northeast Atlanta, 30306.
All right. Is that 700 or 733, Ms. Anderson? I had 733.
I have 700.
Okay, all right. Let me change that then. Thank you.
So, Mr. Sims, I'm giving you the opportunity to get out of custody today or as soon as you are transported to Gateway. But you're going to have to maintain, you're going to have to stay at Gateway. And if you don't stay at Gateway, then this bond's going to be revoked. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
All right, so let Gateway help you, okay?
All right, I'll check them
All
out.
right. All right. Anything further on Mr. Sims?
Nothing further from us.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard, if you'll get that bond modification over to.
Yes. Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get some paperwork on this situation as well, so I understand everything that's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I can talk. I'll talk to you, Mrs. Sims. This is me.
Yeah, when dealing with everything with this case, which you already know is false, the judge, Morrow knows.
Okay. Hold on, Mr. Sims. You have a right to remain silent. So anything you say can be used against you. So wait and talk with Mr. Howard at a later time, okay?
I'm just making sure we get everything how.
Okay. We'll get everything, Mr. Sims.
All right.
All right. Who do we have next, courtroom two?
We have Johnson.
That's position number 10, Demetrius Johnson. Is that right?
Correct.
Let's see. I believe Mr. Johnson's attorney is that Mr. Dark?
Yeah, that's
Mr. Jordan, do we know where Mr. Dark is? Has he made any communication with the court today?
So Judge, I haven't heard from him. He was out sick, but he said he was gonna let me know when he was back in his office, but I still haven't heard from him since last week.
Okay. This is gonna have to be reset. Mr. Johnson, your attorney's not present with us today. We're going to reset this case. The state, Ms. Guidry, would you just put on the record what your recommendation today would be?
Yes, the state's recommendation would have been 12 months, 60 days, 2 days credit for time served, the balance is probated, a family violence intervention program, the restitution to be determined, a stay away from 1901 Spring Creek Lane, no further contact, Trimisha, Trimisha, ROSSER, and 60 hours of community service.
We're going to have to reset your case, Mr. Johnson, for your attorney to be present. It was not a time served plea today or recommendation today. So we're going to reset your case for February 1st, which is next Tuesday. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday, sir.
He's not being helped with charges.
Okay.
He's out on.
Who do we have next?
Yeah, that's everybody.
The position number 14, a whole for announcement. I said you have an announcement.
Okay, so let me, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that
14 and 17.
position number 14, I had hold for announcement. Whose case was 14?
It
Brandon
was
Key.
originally mine, Your Honor, and he's gonna have to be a medical reset.
No, 16 is right. That's one of the MH cases, Mr. Finley. So 16, Judge, is gonna be.
Oh, I think they said 14.
Not 16.
I think he
no,
said 14 there.
They said 14.
Yes, 14, right. That one, Judge, is gonna be reset to Thursday. Spoke with Ms. Crawford about that. We're gonna maybe be able to figure that one out by Thursday. Position 14.
That's to 27.
Yes,
You know that's going to be an add-on, Mr.
that's fine, because it may be, right, that's fine. We're not gonna need it.
What about position 17?
Let's see, 17, same announcement, Judge, 127. Both of those, we're gonna maybe be able to figure out by Thursday.
Okay. And all right, so I have down that covers it. Is that in agreement, everyone? Okay, thank you,
Yes, sir.
courtroom two. We appreciate it. See you next
Thank you,
week.
Judge.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Lewis is in court with me today, so I'll need for you to get all of your paperwork to her in a timely manner so that I can get that signed. And as soon as she is ready, we'll go over today's calendar.
All right, I'm ready. Hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear
Okay,
you.
all right. Thank you. All right, position number one was a plea. Position number two was a plea. Position number three is reset for the SAP for February the 1st. Position number 4 and 5 was released. The case is reset, further notice, return to the original judge assignment. Position number 6 is a reset for February the 22nd, SAP. Position number 7 and 8 is reset for February the 1st, SAP. Position number 9 is reset for February the 1st, SAP. Position number 10, attorney was not present, case is going to be reset to February the 1st, SAP. Position number 11 was a plea. Position number 12 is reset to February the 1st, SAP. Position number 3, same announcement, reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position number 14 is going to be an add-on for this coming Thursday, January the 27th. Is that correct, Mr. Howard?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Position number 15 is a plea. Position number 16 was a no-low plea. Position number 17 is going to be an add-on for this Thursday, SAP, January the 27th. Position number 18 was a plea. Position number 19 is reset for SAP, February the 22nd. Position number 20 is reset further notice. Case, was that case of rain? Rain, that case, we just gave him an SOB.
Right, no, it was not a room.
Okay. Cases, the bond was modified to a $3,000 SOB through the jail. It is to be transferred to Gateway. Case is going to be set further notice, back to return to original judge. Position number 21 is reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position number 22, reset for SAP, February the 22nd. Position 23, defendant was released. Case is reset further notice, return to original judge. Position 24, reset for SAP, February the 8th. We're going on to the add-on calendar. Position number 1 add-on was a plea. Position number 2 add-on was a reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position 3 add-on was a plea. Position number 4 and 5 on the add-on is reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position number 6, same announcement, reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position number 7 add-on, same announcement for position 8, reset for SAP, February the 1st. Position number 9 was a plea. Position number 10 was a plea. Y'all can turn your paperwork to me in a timely manner. I appreciate it. I think I emailed y'all earlier throughout the day to ask y'all that.
Did we not reset number 9 to next Tuesday on the add-on calendar?
Number 9, I thought that was, we just did the plea. You talking about add-on number 9? Or the regular number 9?
I'm sorry, I was looking at the regular number 9.
And
The regular number
Yeah,
9 is,
that's wrong. Yeah,
I said reset to SAP next week.
I was looking at the wrong number 9. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's no problem.
And Ms. Lewis, well, can you say what the reset date was for number 23, please?
23, I have.
Released.
It's 23 was released.
Oh, 23
So,
was released, got it.
so to reset further notice, it's just return to the original judge assignment, which is Judge Morrison. So whenever they decide to put their cases together, that's when it will be known.
All right, well, thank you all. We appreciate it. Have a good rest
Thank
of
you,
the
Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge Moore.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
Thank
Judge
you.
Moore.
Yes.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
So Attorney Dark's client, he is actually not holding on that case.
I told the judge
He's
that.
holding on the felony charge. So we
Okay.
put this case on the SAP calendar because we saw that he had rearrested. We can send it back to the judge if you want,
It was never
because he's not
arraigned.
holding on those charges.
Okay, was he arraigned?
No, he was never arraigned because this case was on a.
Right, because he was in jail at the time.
Calendar, but we took him off because he was incarcerated. So he's never been arraigned on his case. He's just been out on bond on it.
So should we arraign him or should we send it back to the, it doesn't make any difference.
So we can keep him on the calendar to arraign him
Okay,
then,
all right, that'll be fine.
and I'll see if I can get Mr. Dark to come back.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, so I'll be here waiting for the paperwork. And for this afternoon's calendar, so.